And like I said, on the other hand, he says he's only a man. He's here to deliver the message. He has no supernatural powers, the Quran says. He, like everyone else, must pray for guidance and forgiveness. Criticizes it, it corrects him. On the one hand, he seemed like a man who must be utterly sincere and extremely devoted to God. But on the other hand, I could not ignore the fact that if he were the author of the Quran, at the same time, he had to be the greatest liar in history, because he concocted the most audacious hoax ever, because he claimed that he was receiving direct revelation from God. And so the two pictures just didn't match. And on one hand, we have this man who seems utterly sincere, inviting people to nothing else but goodness, inviting people to nothing else but the worship of one God, and he's doing it in an ingenious way with a powerful scripture that certainly transcends his environment. He's doing all this, and on the other hand, the whole thing is a lie. This is why Thomas Carlyle, the famous Orientalist in the beginning of the century, gave that revolutionary speech where he said, if you read the Quran, you're left to, he was an Orientalist. He said, if you read the Quran, one thing you have to conclude is that Muhammad was utterly sincere in believing that these revelations were from none other than God. And that was just something I had a difficult time dealing with. I thought maybe that the author had multiple personalities. You know, maybe on the one hand, he thought God was speaking to him, but on the other hand, you know, he wasn't. So at one time, he assumed the God personality, and it was criticizing him or assuring him, and at other times he would assume. But clearly, the Quran is not the work of a fragmented personality. It was too ingenious, too profound, too coherent, too rational. No, couldn't have been that. In the same way, I thought it couldn't be the work of several individuals, and I toyed with that concept for a while. Because if the Quran was the work of several individuals, you would see several different viewpoints in the text. It's not hard to do. And you can see that in most scriptures you look at. But the personality behind the Quran was definitely one.